Hi everyone, I'm Lorenzo Di Mattia, manager of Hedge Invest Sibilla Macro Fund. I wanted to tell you what we have done in August and give you the outlook for the rest of the year. August was a flat month from a P&L standpoint. We ran a pretty small long book, fully hedged, actually net short, using mostly Russell 2000. We have been expecting a correction, especially in high beta and small cap, which partially happened. And we had a couple of 6-7% corrections in the Russell. We took profits the first time. The second time I actually got stopped out because the Fed almost announced tapering. The tapering would start sometime toward the end of the year or early next year. But also explained that the speed at which they will go and slow the purchases, very slow, and emphasize that it's still going to be a net purchase of assets next year, and emphasize that it's not a tightening move, it's not about raising interest rates, nor is it a quantitative tightening like in 2018. It's just a reduction, very gradual, in the purchase of these assets, and it's true. So we noticed that the market might have been too worried about tapering, and it probably priced it in, and so we covered the Russell. And we actually detecting more weakness as we speak in Europe, and reasons are that there is more exposure to China, particularly the luxury sector. China is slowing down significantly, and we believe that the return to communism, that's how we see it. There is a really a return to communism, and it will cost growth to China and also anyone who's exposed, and Europe is, especially Germany. So we believe that the best indices to use for hedging or for shorting would be European indices or the emerging market indices, but those have been dropping already quite a bit. On the COVID situation, we're noticing that on one hand, Israel is pretty concerning, since despite the fact that most of the population is vaccinated, the number of cases reach an all-time high, but more importantly, deaths are also about half the peak, which is still half, but it's pretty high considering how many are vaccinated. So it looks like in the case of Israel, it's a small sample, but in the case of Israel, the vaccine is not really working that well, or the effectiveness is waning with time. In the UK, the situation looks much better, as cases are actually pretty high also, but hospitalizations and deaths are a fraction of what they were earlier this year or last year. So far so good in the UK, but to the extent we can account on a seasonality of the virus, which means that it's going to get worse with the cold temperature because the spreading is easier, or because the vaccination tends to finish after 4, 6 or 8 months. No matter what the reason is, if the vaccine should be less effective, it's going to be pretty bad. So we are sort of not heavy in the gross exposure exactly because of this, because on the one hand, if the virus doesn't generate hospitalizations, even if cases are going up in the winter, things would be good. There wouldn't be big lockdowns or widespread lockdowns, and the situation would probably evolve toward higher interest rates and reopening trades performing well. On the other hand, if there is a seasonality component or the effectiveness of the vaccine tends to diminish with time, then hospitalizations will lead to new lockdowns in Europe, and obviously this is not expected at the moment. So we're watching closely, and we believe that the UK will be a case study, as the temperature will drop first in the UK, and we will assess from there. Right now, we believe that there will be a return, at least partial, a return of higher hospitalization with the winter. Also, there is an issue with the flu. The hospitals get filled with other diseases, especially the flu. So right now we're very light, and we actually have a short position in Europe for the reasons mentioned. And Europe is also more exposed to a return of COVID. Thank you very much.